My friend, I write these words on a scrap of paper that I found on the floor of my boat, in the hope that someday, somehow, these words will reach your ears and you shall know what became of me. I was a fool. I believed myself wiser than Lady Nature, stronger than Lord Neptune, able to defeat the ocean itself. I was wrong. I have been at sea for longer than I care to admit, and still I have found nowhere to make my home. I found an island today. It loomed out of the rain like a great whale, thinking it could swim in the wetness above as it does in the wetness below. I am ashamed to admit that I allowed my hopes to rise at the sight of it, to believe that I may have found a place to stop and leave this wretched ocean behind me. I pulled my cloak close against the rising wind as I surveyed the landscape, but there was nothing here. Even the few trees that inhabited the land had separated themselves rather than have company. I know how they feel. Daniel says we shouldn't have set out on this journey. He may be right. The other day he mentioned that he has started to hallucinate, that his loneliness on this trip has forced him to invent a companion with which to share his travels. This worries me. If he is hallucinating companions, might he hallucinate other, more dangerous things? I saw another island today. Its inhabitants didn't look friendly. They stared at me, as if I was the ghost, as if I was the one who should have chosen to turn back days ago. Don't look at me, look at Daniel, the crazy one on this boat. Look at yourselves. Why don't you turn around and go back where you came from and leave me in peace? They didn't respond, so I gave their island a wide berth and continued on, more certain than before that I am doing the right thing. Another island! My mood is lifted, for Daniel is no longer with me. I clamber out of my boat and accidentally kick it away from the shore, but no matter. This island will be my destination, I know it. But it is not to be. The inhabitants of this island are less friendly even than the last. They chased me off their land, but I slashed my hatred into the heart of the one who so insulted me. This island is not right for me. I see that now. I shall continue on. I see another island, but I ignore it, for I cannot know if it is real. Daniel hallucinated fields beneath the boat and stepped out into the waves, but I do not miss him. He had begun to claim that he was hallucinating me, that I was merely his mind grasping for comfort, and that he was alone on the boat. How dare he insult my existence? I shall not be allowing him back onto my boat, even if he survives the ocean. I have no need of him on my journey. I am strong. I am strong. I made a new companion today, Jacob. He swam alongside my boat for a time and we talked of home. I am glad that I have such companionship on this journey. Who knows what would have happened to my sanity had I undertaken it alone? I have found a new home. It is not the destination I intended, but somehow it calls to me, asks me to stay. The people here are different to how I remember people being. They seem somehow distant, disconnected from the war raging just meters away inside their visitor's head. They do not mind me. They give me the occasional curious glance, but they tolerate me, and so I shall stay. For a time. There is one here, Maria, who understands me. She knows of how the ocean calls to me, and she helps me ignore it. I must ignore it, or I shall find myself afloat again, watching the waves of my sanity getting crushed beneath the keel of my boat.